Ladies and gentlemen on Facebook, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., and I am the natural born thriller because I'm the natural and I'm born to be the thriller. And if you don't like it, beat it. I'm just saying. YouTubers, welcome to the very first ever, or should I say my very first ever, WWE SmackDown Live and 205 Live review. The first thing I'm going to start off first is with SmackDown. So this will be your WWE SmackDown review, the show from December 5th, 2017. Alright, let me get everything all set up here. And please excuse me if I'm doing this in the dark, folks. Just like yesterday when I did the Raw review, I'm doing this late, and why am I doing this late? After watching wrestling, of course. But that's not the real reason. But the real reason is because my little brother is sleeping right now. He's gotta get ready for school tomorrow. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get ready to start doing this review. Let me just get some good lighting into this, and then I'll get right into what happened on SmackDown. Hopefully that's good enough. Tomorrow, unfortunately, tomorrow will be a different story. Tomorrow you will be seeing, you'll be seeing me completely with the lights on this time. Even though I do got the light on right now, but I'm trying to not make it too bright here because again my little brother's sleeping and I want him to wake up. So it's the best I can do as of right now. But yeah, let's get to this. I'm so excited to do this, and I can't wait to do tomorrow because tomorrow is gonna be NXT. Yeah, so tomorrow you'll be seeing a WWE NXT review right here on my YouTube channel, Robert Serrano Jr. So before I get started, I just want to say if you're new to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am Robert Serrano Jr. And if you like what I'm about to do right now in this video, give it a thumbs up. So, let's see you like the video. That's what I'm basically saying. So, that being said, let's get right into it. So, WWE SmackDown Live. Again, the show from December 5th, 2017. They're in San Diego, California. We have Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton on commentary. So we get into the first hour of SmackDown. And who opens the show? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, welcoming everyone from San Diego, California, which probably when they came out they had a huge pop. But then all of a sudden they actually I'll get to that part momentarily, but basically they're being Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are very popular to these crowds. But this ends up being the Kevin and Sami show. Excuse me, the Kevin and Sami show. So they come out. They basically address what happened last week on SmackDown, when it involved Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens from that main event from SmackDown. Where Sami Zayn getting involved, because Shane McMahon made the match. Well, actually, Daniel Bryan made the match, but then Shane McMahon decided to add some stipulations to that match. So they talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. They talk about Daniel Bryan, and they start saying that they're better than them. I thought that was funny the way they're saying that because they're being heels. So Kevin Owens saying something about Shane McMahon having an agenda against him and Sami Zayn, where they had Randy Orton, the Viper, to try to demolish Kevin Owens in last week's event, main event from SmackDown. Which, by the way, Shane McMahon made that match no disqualifications, and with Sami Zayn being banned from ringside. Which, by the way, at the time makes no sense because why would you ban Sami Zayn and make it a no disqualification match where Sami Zayn could easily go out there and be involved in the match because there's no disqualification rules, right? So I didn't understand the logic of that, but the fans prefer it anyways. So like, oh yeah, we'll take it. Even though they're not hearing a clear picture. I mean, they're not seeing a clear picture here that What Shane McMahon just said there made no sense. But whatever. But anyways, so Sami Zayn, he was basically, that's what's the word? Describing. He was describing what he didn't do wrong. So he's basically pointing out to everyone that he's in the ring right now, and he's leaving the ring, and basically he's just describing that he's at ringside. After leaving the ring, now he's at ringside, and he talks about the crappy commentators, which probably I'm pretty sure he was talking about Byron Saxton. And then he starts walking around, and he saw the bell timekeeper, whichever you want to say. They got to ring the bell. Also, the timekeeper for the matches. And then he says, Sami Zayn, he basically said that he doesn't know the guy's name. He's like, it might be Steve, it's not that. Basically, he just randomly comes up on some names that that where he's assuming that's his name. But we don't know if his name's Steve or not, but whatever. I thought it was kind of funny though, the way that Sami Zayn is basically calling the timekeeper Steve. And then he starts walking again. He starts walking around. He's right at the alleyway. He's talking about the crowds, and then he starts crapping on the crowds, and the crowd starts booing him because of that. So, and this is what I'm talking about. They first Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they came out, and they got massive cheers, and also, and because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're heels, they basically turned, crapping on the fans and everything, and the fans starts turning on them. They're doing their jobs. So Sami Zayn, he's once again describing, he's leaving ringside now. He's on, he basically crossed the line of the ramp, from the stage basically, and basically he's pointing out his argument that he was never at ringside when he attacked Randy Orton, and that's why he was describing this whole thing, why he was as he was doing it. He was describing that Sami Zayn, interfered in the match, but he didn't interfere when he was at ringside, because if you didn't see the match last week, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens was fighting on the stage. Basically on the rampway, but close to the stage, but there was nowhere near ringside. And then that's when Sami Zayn came out there to attack Randy Orton, to basically have weaken Randy Orton, so that Kevin Owens could get the victory over Sami Zayn. I mean, for the Kevin Owens to get the victory over Randy Orton. Excuse me. So as Sami Zayn is doing all this, all of a sudden from out of nowhere in the ring, Kevin Owens gets RKO by Randy Orton. I'm like, holy shit, that was cool. Despite how I feel about Randy Orton right now, for those who don't know on YouTube, I fucking hate Randy Orton right now. For many reasons. But that'll be for another time. But I gotta admit, that was pretty cool. Randy Orton coming out of nowhere, basically doing the whole RKO out of nowhere to Kevin Owens, and the way that Kevin Owens sold it, holy cow, that was pretty cool. So I give props to Randy Orton for that. And also Shane McMahon comes out. By the way, I forgot to mention, Sami Zayn saw that what happened with Kevin Owens, his best friend. He wanted to get into the ring, but at the same time he didn't want no piece of Randy Orton. And that's where Shane McMahon comes in. He's coming out dancing on the stage and everything. He makes the match where it's going to be Night of Champions, or should I say Clash of Champions. It's going to be Randy Orton and the partner of his choosing to go up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But I'll get to who Randy Orton's partner is later on, which I was excited for that person being his partner. But at the same time, something else happened on that, later on that show. I'll get to that later. But then Shane McMahon makes a match for tonight on SmackDown, which was earlier tonight. It was going to be Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton in the main event match for SmackDown. And he also added a stipulation where Kevin Owens, he could be allowed at ringside, but he will be handcuffed to the ropes at ringside. And Kevin Owens didn't hear what was said there, because he got knocked out by Randy Orton's RKO. So then we get to the backstage where we see Sami Zayn talking to Kevin Owens, and he told him about what happened after Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. So Kevin Owens he was acting like he didn't know what was said and everything, even though he did know what it was said, but still but whatever. We'll just let that slide though. But he was saying that he got knocked out from the RKO, Kevin Owens. So Sami Zayn basically let him know that Kevin Owens was going to be handcuffed and everything, and Kevin Owens was losing his mind backstage. So we'll get to that match later. So far the opening of SmackDown was pretty good, and also the San Diego crowds from California, they were enjoying the show. They were so excited for SmackDown. So that's one thing look us look forward to with these crowds, when they're excited for a show, when it comes to Raw or SmackDown. So last night Raw, it's the same thing too. They were an exciting crowd. They were excited for Monday Night Raw, and now we get to SmackDown, and it's the same reaction, same type of excitement basically. All right, then we get to one of my favorite parts of the show, besides what happened later on. Um, 12 Days of Rusev was sang by Aiden English, but unfortunately he didn't sing the whole thing. And by the way, this whole thing with Rusev and in English, they were going to go up against the New Day. I forgot to mention that by the way, because it was announced that it's going to be New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English. But we get to Aiden English, he starts singing the 12 Days of Rusev, and by the way, everyone was singing. I mean, not everyone was singing. Everyone was chanting Rusev Day. Rusev is, oh my God, he is that dude. He is over because of this whole Rusev Day. And by the way, whoever came up with Rusev Day for Rusev, that person deserves a raise for that, because this Rusev's getting over a day that's not even real. It's not a real day. Rusev Day is not even a real day, but everyone is enjoying this whole thing that Rusev came up with this thing. Basically said that it's gonna be Rusev Day and all that. I remember they did this whole Rusev Day. What's that word? What's the word? Coronation. This whole Rusev Day coronation, because he beat Randy Orton. And the English was involved with this. So yeah, it's getting over, folks. Rusev is getting over, along with his new tag team partner, Aiden English. So Aiden English is in the middle of singing his this whole 12 Days of Rusev. I believe he got up to the 9 days of Rusev. And he also revealed, well, actually, Rusev reveals a T-shirt. He's got a new T-shirt called Happy Rusev Day. Everyone's gonna buy that now. Rusev's gonna make a lot of money with that T-shirt, because everybody loves this whole Rusev Day that Rusev is doing. But of course, when it comes to English singing the 12 Days of Christmas, the new day comes out. Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods. Fuck the New Day. I'm not saying that because they ruined this song. I'm saying fuck the New Day because I don't fucking like the New Day. I fucking hate those three mega faggots. Those three mega sellout bitches. The way they dance, the way they carry themselves, the way they wear the unicorn horns, the way they act like they create magic, and the way they start doing that pussy dance, twerking to other guys. Fucking hate those three motherfuckers. And this whole Bulio's dumbass piece of shit cereal. And everything that the New Day represent of themselves when it comes to their to themselves merchandise. Fuck the New Day. But anyways, so we got to the match. I didn't watch the match, folks. Excuse me. I didn't watch the match. Why should I watch the match? Where you got Big E and Kofi Kingston carrying themselves like the fucking bitches, like they want to get fucked in the ass by grown men. So you have Kofi Kingston and Big E who are wrestling while Xavier was at ringside, while Rusev and Aiden English team up against the New Day, which is Kofi and Big E. Again, I didn't watch the match, folks, because I don't care. I really didn't care for the match, because you got the New Day involved. They ruin my excitement when it comes to watching anything that WWE does. And I can't believe that people are thinking that this is good for wrestling. Which is annoying as fuck. Where people are putting this shit over like it's funny. Like that's the best thing going on in wrestling. So anyways, so Rusev wins the match anyways. So for which I thought with Rusev coming out there, in English, they didn't have an entrance, by the way. New Day did, but not Rusev and the English, which I thought they was going to lose. But then Rusev ends up going for that kick onto Kofi and picks up the win. So yeah, Rusev and Aiden English wins the match, which I was actually surprised at that. That he won. And also announced that that's another thing I want to talk about too. Last week, I believe it was around somewhere from the weekend, maybe, or maybe close to the weekend from last week, that WWE decided to have the New Day to be involved with this WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship title match at Clash of Champions between the Usos, who are the Tag Team Champions, against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And like, fuck, man, I'm getting sick and tired of the New Day getting involved all these Tag Team Championship matches right now. I'm like, seriously, I thought we're done with this now, with New Day getting another opportunity for the Tag Team titles. They just they're ruining another match for me to watch, for me to get excited for at Clash of Champions. But then because Rusev and English also win their match against the New Day, they also been added to the match, and now it's become a fatal four-way for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships at Clash of Champions. So, okay, I'm gonna move on now because I don't want to talk about I don't want to talk about the New Day anymore. Fuck the New Day. Renee Young interviews Mojo Rawley, and with Mojo Rawley being there, yeah, basically when we moved away from when we finally moved away from New Day, I'm like, good, now I can finally get back to get excited for the show again. So Mojo Rawley basically, was being interviewed by Renee Young about his actions and what he did to Zack Ryder, and he came up of why he basically he has his own opinion of why he did what he did to Zack Ryder, and he's like, well, Zack Ryder, he's basically saying that to everyone that all they ask is that what he's done to Zack Ryder, and he's like, well, has anyone ever asked what Zack Ryder done to him? Because Rusev, I mean not Rusev, Mojo Rawley says that they had an opportunity to get to the tag team titles when they won the Battle Royal from months ago, but then Zack Ryder got hurt, and then Mojo Rawley ends up winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which was on the pre-show of WrestleMania, but it was one of his biggest wins. And then months later, Zack Ryder comes back, and basically he says that Zack Ryder was a dead weight for him because ever since he came back, they've been losing matches constantly. And Mojo Rawley decided to take out Zack Ryder. And yeah, for those who don't know, Mojo Rawley attacked Zack Ryder after their match they lost against the Bludgeon Brothers last week. So yeah, Mojo Rawley. And he says, and if anyone doesn't like what he did to Zack Ryder, he says to stick it. He basically told everyone to stick it or shove it. I think I'll remember how he said it, but I'm like, okay, I was enjoying this. Mojo Rawley's heel turn is working out very, very well, and if WWE plays the cards right, they might have him be a great. They might have Mojo Rawley become a great heel. All they gotta do is right now is to capitalize on it. Strike the iron while the iron is hot. But which WWE doesn't, nobody does, by the way. They always don't strike the iron while it's hot. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Hopefully they won't mess this up for Mojo Rawley. So Daniel Bryan backstage with the women's, and like, fuck, the women's segments. It was bad, folks. It was bad. Here's what happened. So Daniel Bryan is being confronted by Carmella, Lana, and Tamina because they're arguing about and complaining about Natalya getting an opportunity for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair at Clash of Champions. And then all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan says, "Oh, well, Carmella, you could be in the match. All you gotta do is give me your briefcase, because if you don't remember." Which I'm pretty sure I probably don't remember, because WWE is doing a poor job for us to remember about Carmella. Carmella is the winner of the Women's Money in the Bank SmackDown contract. Basically she still has the briefcase, and she says, "Oh no, I'm not gonna cash in on Frankie." Yep, that's right, folks. This is WWE Creative coming up with an idea for Carmella to name her briefcase. And the best name they came up with is Frankie. In my opinion, they shouldn't. I don't think the briefcase needs a name and doesn't need a name anyways. Like seriously, Frankie. Carmel's gonna name a briefcase Frankie. Holy fucking shit! That was so fucking stupid. And this is what I mean by these women's segments. Holy shit! This is worse than Xavier Woods naming, what was Francisca, that trombone, that stupid trombone he names Francisca, whatever. It's fucking stupid. Who cares about Carmelo's briefcase naming as named Frankie? This is so fucking stupid. Whoever came up with that idea, it should be fucking fired. Or at least shoot yourself in the foot. Like seriously, that's fucking stupid. So then we get the Riot Squad coming in, which is Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Basically, they talk about how Ruby Riot talks about how she should get an opportunity because she beat Charlotte Flair last week, even though it was a tag team match, but whatever. And then Liv Morgan starts talking trash to Lana because she's a blonde. And Lana tried to act tough against Liv Morgan. And like, please, Lana, you can't even wrestle, so. And it's nothing. Liv Morgan's a better wrestler than Lana, so. And then Sarah Logan talks about how Dan Bryan's not country. He's not a country person like Sarah Logan is. And here's the thing. So Sarah Logan is, her character is that she's a country girl, which is fine, because that's who she is in real life. But as a personality, when it comes to wrestling, I don't like it. I seriously don't like it. I mean, it wasn't cringeworthy. I just like, oh my god, it's just not good. I would rather they took out the name Sarah Logan and just give her original name, Crazy Mary Dobson, because that's what she's known of being, not this country girl named Sarah Logan, But whatever. But then Dan Bryan also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. The Riot Squad, Lana, Tamina, and Carmella starts arguing. Also Dan Bryan, he starts channeling his Dr. Shelby. By saying stop it and all that, he starts screaming and everything, and then, or yelling, it's not that, whatever. But he starts doing this, and then because anger management. Yeah, for those who don't remember, Daniel Bryan and Kane, Team Hell No, they were in the anger management segment where with this guy named Dr. Shelby. So, and that's what I meant about Daniel Bryan doing his he's doing his inner channeling. The Dr. Shelby segment that WWE did years ago. So Daniel Bryan decides to make the match for between Charlotte Flair defending her SmackDown Women's Championship title against Natalya at Clash of Champions, a lumberjack match where all the women that were in the locker room, or should I say in his office, to be involved with it. So we get the women to be involved of Clash of Champions. So we'll see how that turns. I'm pretty sure the match is gonna be good. If Natalya ends up putting out a good match, which I think she will, but I doubt that, because to me Natalya doesn't look like she doesn't care anymore. But whatever. But that was that segment. Yeah, the segment itself I thought was trash, except for Ruby Riot. Basically or should I say the Riot Squad and Daniel Bryan. Those are the things that I enjoy about the segment. But the rest of the segment overall, Carmella, Lana, and Tamina, trash. Oh yeah, I want to point out one thing, by the way. I believe it was Sarah Logan who said that Lana, Carmella, and Tamina are afterthoughts in the women's division. Exactly. Bobby Roode is being confronted by Baron Corbin because they're going to have a match later on, and they talk about at Clash of Champions. It's not going to just be Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin for the United States Championship, but they also added in Dolph Ziggler in there too. I'm like, fuck. Dolph fucking Ziggler. I hate Dolph Ziggler, folks. fucking hate this guy. But Dolph Ziggler came in there, by the way. And yeah, and that match was also announced last week too, where they announced it. During, I believe during around the weekend, or maybe close to the weekend. I don't remember, but it was announced that. And when I heard about that, like fuck. And I know why they're doing this, because they want to protect Baron Corbin, and they want to protect Bobby Roode. So who's going to take the pinfall in the triple threat match between Roode, Corbin, and Ziggler at Clash of Champions? Ziggler. So this Ziggler is basically making an excuse of why he was added into the match, because he's a former 4-time United States champion, a former, I believe, 2-time Intercontinental champion, a former 2-time World Heavyweight champion, and he's the winner of the Money in the Bank, and no one cares. I didn't care, but whatever. The Bludgeon Brothers, what should I say? Harper, Roland, Bludgeon Brothers. They go up against these tag team jobbers. There were 2 skinny tag teams that basically got destroyed by by Harper and Roland. And this time, it was a better finishing move that they did to the jobbers, because usually they were wrestling against the hype bros, but the hype bros are no more, by the way, which is Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. But because of these jobbers, one of these jobbers took a hard beating from Harper and from Rowan, basically the Bludgeon Brothers, from that finishing move that they do, like a crucifix slam, something like that. But the way that jobber took it, he took it like he got killed. It was a good spot there. So yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers ends up winning. Basically, it was a squash. And now that's the end of hour number 1, folks. Now we get to hour number 2 for SmackDown Live. In hour number 2, we get Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode. No title on the line, basically. Basically a non-title match. That's what I'm trying to say. And you got Dolph Ziggler on commentary. By the way, Dolph Ziggler buried Byron Saxton on commentary, where he's basically explaining about Bobby Roode's he's an entrance and all that, and then he says about how he can prove he can't prove himself in the ring and all that. And Byron Saxton's talking about where this guy Bobby Roode is very gifted, a very gifted talent in the ring and all that. And then Dolph Ziggler was like, Dolph Ziggler was basically saying that's what I was basically saying, that's the point I was making. It's like Byron Saxton is tone deaf. He doesn't like I don't understand what's going on with Byron Saxton. By the way, Byron Saxton as a commentator, he fucking sucks. Just like when he was a wrestler, he sucked as a wrestler too. I don't understand why Byron Saxton is there. He brings Byron Saxton brings nothing to the table as a commentator, as a wrestler, as a public figure. Either way, he just brings nothing to the table. So why the fuck is he there? And plus, Byron Saxton he's a voice commentary for WWE 2K18. What the fuck? What the fuck does this company see in this guy? This guy's bringing nothing to the table. I don't think he's that talented on the commentary at all. I don't understand. I really don't understand why they got Byron Saxton there. But anyways, as far as the match was between Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode, they put out a good match. But then also Dolph Ziggler, he gets involved. He attacks Bobby Roode, and that causes a DQ finish. Bobby Roode wins, beats disqualification. And then after the match, basically after the match again, was over. He attacks Baron Corbin too. Basically, Dolph Ziggler attacked Bobby Roode with a zigzag, which ends in disqualification. And they attacks Baron Corbin with a zigzag as well. So yeah, to make the match was ruined because they had Dolph Ziggler involved in that match. So. And plus, Dolph Ziggler, with him being in the match, he's gonna make the match look good, only for him to lose in the end. So, but we'll see how that turns out. When we get to Clash of Champions. Natalya. She comes out. Oh, I'm sorry, she didn't come out. She was backstage. She was talking to Carmella, Tamina, and Lana. She's saying, "Oh, I'm so excited you girls are gonna be part at Clash of Champions as lumberjacks, or should I say lumberjills?" That's what they should say, by the way. Because someone came up with the name lumberjills for these women when it comes to their type of version of lumberjacks. You know, because lumberjacks are for male wrestlers, lumberjills are supposed to be for female wrestlers. So, but yeah, Natalia's basically kissing the ass to them, and she says, "Oh yeah, that's right." She brought up the welcoming committee, the name that some WWE creative came out for Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. You know, because Charlotte Flair came in. It was a terrible name. It was a fucking terrible name, for a faction, and the faction broke up months ago. So why the fuck do we care about Natalya and this whole welcome committee for the women's division right now? Especially on SmackDown. So then we get Ruby Riott, basically the Riott Squad, which is Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan come in. Basically, and then Natalya basically welcomed them to the welcoming committee, even though the Riott Squad attacked Natalya, and they had a match against Natalya last week when Natalya bailed on Charlotte Flair and Naomi, which probably Natalya brought up, thank you for getting rid of Becky Lynch, and thank you for getting rid of Naomi. Basically, just kissing ass to them. I'm like, holy fucking shit! Like, someone shut her the fuck up already. Like, she's so fucking annoying. At this point now, Natalya, as a character, is fucking garbage. Natalya is fucking trash right now. And after she was on, basically welcoming, the Riott Squad to SmackDown, even though it's a little too late for that because by the way, whatever. Natalya's a waste of space. She's nothing to me anymore. Fuck Natalya. And yeah, while she's doing that and all that, she walks away. Look like she was scared that she was gonna get jumped by them. And then we get the stare down of the welcoming committee and the Riott Squad. Whoopee. Alright, Tamina being accompanied by Lana versus Charlotte Flair. Non-title match. You also had Natalya, Carmella, and Frankie, the briefcase, at ringside. Match itself, it was decent. Charlotte Flair wins. Moving on. And then Natalya starts talking. I'm like, fuck, Natalya. I'm sick and tired of Natalya. I'm sick of hearing her. I'm sick of seeing her. I'm sick and tired of Natalya right now. She's fucking garbage. And I can't believe I'm used to be a fan of hers. She basically doesn't care anymore. She looks like she's just going emotion, do emotions, and she's just down in there at this point. So then, as she's talking, finally, the Riott Squad comes out. I'm like, thank God, because Natalya has, because the Riott Squad made her stop talking. Her fucking annoying ass. So the Riott Squad is have a mic too, by the way. They basically go show, an example of a lumberjill. And then also Ruby Riott in the face of Carmella. Then we get Sarah Logan get into the face of Tamina. And then we get Liv Morgan get into the face of Natalya. I thought we were gonna have a brawl going on between the welcoming committee and the Riott Squad, but that's not what happened at all actually. So here's what happened. Basically, Charlotte Flair is in the middle of the ring, and I think they was gonna try to jump Charlotte Flair too. By the way, I don't know if that was the case or not, but we won't know that. We won't know because what happened next? We get Tamina, bam, knocking down Sarah Logan down, and then Sarah Logan and Tamina start brawling, and then we get the welcoming committee and the Riott Squad breaking up the fight. They basically they didn't want to get in the middle of the brawl. They basically want to break up the brawl, and then Charlotte Flair ends up getting out of the ring because she basically avoiding any harm by getting out there. So yeah, other segment was alright though. The segment except for Natalya because she's fucking garbage. But yeah, whatever. Alright, here we go. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens backstage. They were confronted by Daniel Bryan. And they was basically talking to Daniel Bryan about, do you condone what Shane McMahon's doing to us right now and all that, right? And all of a sudden Daniel Bryan's like, yes. And then security comes in, basically 3 securities. And then one of them had the handcuff. Because they're ready to have because we're going to have this match between Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton for the main event of SmackDown. So Kevin Owens ends up being at ringside, Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn and the securities as well. Kevin Owens was arguing to Daniel Bryan like I don't want to know that, and Daniel Bryan says, well, you have to, or you could be suspended. So Kevin Owens was like, fine, handcuff me. So he got handcuffed on the ropes. So also we get Randy Orton coming out. So we get Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton while Kevin Owens is handcuffed at ringside. So Randy Orton and Sami Zayn, oh my God, what a match this was. Especially when Randy Orton was destroying Sami Zayn on the current, from the outside of the ring. And Kevin Owens he got involved a little bit, even though he was handcuffed and all that, but he tried to get involved a little bit. Basically being a distraction to Randy Orton, just for a brief minute. But yeah, Sami Zayn was doing his thing too, by the way. Sami Zayn was also capitalizing on Randy Orton, while Randy Orton was getting a brief of distraction, getting distracted by Kevin Owens. Also, we get Sami Zayn going under the ring. He got bolt cutters. He's gonna basically break Kevin Owens free from the handcuffs, being handcuffed on the ropes. But Randy Orton gets no involved, and Randy Orton for a little bit attacked Kevin Owens, and the referee, which it was referee Mike Kilda, he see the bolt cutters out in the corner, and what does he do? He kicks it right next to Kevin Owens. I'm like, what the fuck was that? It's like if I was the referee, I would have kicked it out of the ring. Don't kick him, but instead he kicked it right next to Kevin Owens, so he can use the bolt cutters. Like, holy shit, that was so fucking stupid. That was a stupid move there by Mike Kilda. Yeah, like Kevin Owens is not gonna touch it when he recovers. Stupid. So while they're having the match, both Zayn and Orton were down a little bit. Kevin Owens gets the bolt cutters, and of course he broke free. But it was it didn't work anyways, folks, because Kevin Owens got on the apron. He got knocked out by Randy Orton. Sami Zayn tried to capitalize on Orton. Orton tried to go for the RKO. Sami Zayn counters. He goes for a hula kick, misses. And Kevin Owens once again tried to get involved again. Sami Zayn tried to get to Orton. And I don't remember how Orton won. Yeah, basically, this whole thing, Kevin Owens breaking free from the handcuffs. It didn't matter anyways, because it didn't really mean anything, because Sami Zayn is losing in the end anyways. But I can't remember how he lost though. I'm trying to remember how he lost. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a roll up. I don't remember how he beat him, but the point is, Randy Orton wins the match. So yeah, this whole thing with Kevin Owens being handcuffed didn't mean anything. After the match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they went to attack Randy Orton. They start bringing him down. And remember, earlier, I mentioned that Shane McMahon says that Randy Orton has a partner to choose for to go up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Clash of Champions. Well, guess what? It was revealed who ends up being that partner for Randy Orton. It's none other than the King of Strong Style, the artist, Shinsuke Nakamura, my favorite wrestler in this generation. He comes out, he gets a massive pop. The crowds were into Shinsuke Nakamura. He starts running down, and he basically goes for the save. He gets the Kinshasa to Kevin Owens. As Randy Orton gets RKO to Sami Zayn. Then Randy Orton picks up Sami Zayn, and then Shinsuke gives him a Kinshasa. Well, actually, not before that happened. Like I said, a Kinshasa to Kevin Owens, and then Randy Orton with an RKO or Sami Zayn, and then Shinsuke picked up Kevin Owens for Randy Orton to do the RKO, and then we get Sami Zayn getting picked up by Randy Orton, so that Shinsuke Nakamura could go for the Kinshasa, and I was going crazy, by the way, just like the crowds from San Diego, California were going crazy for it too, and then they play Nakamura's music, and they start doing the sing along of Nakamura's theme music. Also, we cut backstage. It's Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan watching on backstage in their office, and Shane McMahon reveals that at Clash of Champions, we're in the match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. Excuse me. that Shane McMahon's gonna be the special guest referee, and if Kevin basically if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn loses their match, they're fired. And Daniel Bryan had a look on his face like he was disgusted of that decision. And then Shane McMahon walks away, and Daniel Bryan looks at him with a as he's walking away. I'm like, wow. So here's the thing. Oh yeah, by the way, Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, they end the show. The camera went back at Nakamura and Orton celebrating after they beat down on Zayn and Owens. But based on what Shane McMahon said there, with him being the guest referee, and for him to say that Owens and Zayn, if they lose, then they're fired. Which they just basically telegraphed that Nakamura and Orton are not going to win at Clash of Champions. And if that's the case, Orton should take the loss. I thought that was bullshit the way that Shane McMahon ended this, and basically almost ended the show by saying by making that rule where if Owens and Zayn don't win the match against Nakamura and Owens at Clash of Champions with Shane McMahon being the special guest referee, then Owens and Zayn will be fired not just from SmackDown, but all of WWE. That tells you right there that Orton and Nakamura are not going to win at Clash of Champions. Damn. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself too here. What if they do fire? What if they do lose? What if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens they do lose, and they do this whole angle where Owens and Zayn are invading Raw, invading SmackDown, basically they're trespassing and all that. But whatever. Maybe I'm thinking too much and all that. So I don't know. But the way I took it, folks, with the ending of SmackDown was that, Shane McMahon says he's gonna be the referee between Zayn and Owens versus Nakamura and Orton at Clash of Champions, and if Zayn and Owens if they lose the match at Clash of Champions, then they're fired from WWE basically. So before I move on to 205 Live, I'm about to get to the WWE 205 Live results, but before I do, the amount of wrestling for SmackDown Live from December 5th, 2017. Maybe go back to how many matches were there, because I can't remember from the top of my head. Okay, all right, 5 matches. Total amount of wrestling for SmackDown Live from December 5th, 2017. 5 matches. My overall show rating for the show, I'm gonna go 6.5 out of 10. Another good show. Yeah, another good show for me. In fact, I'll give it 7 out of 10. Yeah, this show it definitely deserves a 7 out of 10 for me. Very very good show. So and if you didn't see my Raw review from last night, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. But for SmackDown, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Cause I did enjoy the show more than I enjoy Raw. So, all right, folks. Before I move on to, hold on a second. All right. Now we're going to move on to 205 to 205 Live results. This will be your WWE 205 Live results, or should I say WWE 205 Live review, to show from December 5th, 2017. So let's begin. By the way, I love doing that, by the way. All right, here we go. So basically after SmackDown was over, they're setting up for 205 Live to appear on, which was live on the WWE Network. San Diego, California. You have Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph on commentary. By the way, I decided to watch 205 Live again. Why? Because I want to do a coverage on right here on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. Oh, well, I do it sometimes on Facebook as well. With the whole thing with Neville being involved and everything. But now you got Enzo Amore being involved now, and that's one of the reasons why that's basically one of the reasons why I stopped watching 205 Live, because WWE is relying on Enzo Amore to make the show more watchable now, and the only way for them to do that is by having Enzo Amore to be the cruiserweight champion, which he doesn't deserve, because Enzo Amore sucks as a wrestler. He's not even the cruiserweight. Well, I guess you could say he's a cruiserweight because he's in that cruiserweight weight when it comes to being under 205. Be under the weight of 205. So, whatever. But yeah, like I said, this will be your 205 Live review, December 5th, 2017 results. San Diego, California, Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph as your commentators. The show opened up with Drew Gulak coming out. He's basically in charge of the Zoe train because Enzo Amore was not there. Thank God. But Drew Gulak wanted to do his power presentation because he's all about 205 Live. He wants to make 205 Live to live a better show with no one flying, basically a no-fly zone on that. Basically no high-flying moves on that. So then Cedric Alexander comes out to interrupt the PowerPoint of the that he was trying to do, basically, and basically it never got in the way anyway. So so then Drew Gulak got out of the ring. I thought at first it was gonna be Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak, but he wasn't the opponent. Drew Gulak says his opponent for tonight was going to be against Norman Dar. So Norman Dar comes out, the Supernova. So we had Cedric Alexander versus Norman Dar with Drew Gulak on commentary. So they have a match, pretty good match between the two. Two very, very good wrestlers, especially Cedric Alexander. So then we get to the finish. Norman Dar goes for basically trying to go for a high flying move, and then Drew Gulak on commentary, he gets off with the commentary. And he says, no fly zone, no fly zone. You don't need to fly. And Norman Dar's like, are you kidding? Are you serious? Are you joking? So then he got off the top rope because Drew Gulak says it's a no fly zone because his campaign about making 205 Live 205 Live better is by having no cruiserweights to do any flying moves in wrestling, basically in 205 Live. Yeah, WWE is still doing that with Drew Gulak, by the way. But anyways. So then, because of that, Cedric Alexander capitalized on that. Norman Dar on that, for listening to Drew Gulak. So he goes for the lumbar check, and nasty lumbar check by Cedric Alexander to Norman Dar. And Norman Dar, the way he sold it, like he got killed. And yeah, so Cedric Alexander, he gets the win. 1 second. All right, Mustafa Ali, Akira Tozawa, and Rich Swann backstage. They're talking about Enzo Amore. Well, actually, they first talk about Drew Gulak and everything, and the Zoe train. And then Mustafa Ali says, well, I kind of miss, he's basically saying he kind of miss Enzo Amore because they got to do with Drew Gulak, because he's annoying with this whole no fly zone, right? So then also I'm get Dasha, Miss Dasha, who always loved to smile like this because she's happy to be there. Basically, she interviews Rich Swann. Rich Swann is basically flirting with her. And then Dasha asks Rich Swann about, I believe about his match for Drew Gulak on Raw. That's going to happen on next Monday on Raw, where the winner of that match gets to face Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight Championship. So yeah, that's basically what the interview was about. So Rich Swann basically gives his opinion that he's going to become a 2-time Cruiserweight champion, and he says, and they can't, and Enzo Amore, he can't handle this. But that depends if he's going to beat Drew Gulak on Raw next week. But we'll see. Wouldn't be surprised if they have Drew Gulak win the match again, where it's going to be Drew Gulak against Enzo Amore. So we'll see how that turns out though. when it comes to next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that was that segment. Like whatever. Next we get D. Brian Kendrick, who's being accompanied by Jack Gallagher. So D. Brian Kendrick goes up against Grand Metalik. So they have a match, pretty good match between the two. And Grand Metalik, oh my god, he's an amazing athlete. In the end, well, here's what happened. Grand Metalik went for a nasty suicide dive. He tried to go to D. Brian Kendrick, but then I don't know how a miscommunication happened, but D. Brian Kendrick got out of the way, and Jack Gallagher ends up getting hit with the suicide dive. But either way, it still worked out pretty well. And Grand Metalik, he goes for a head scissors from jumping over the barricade to get to the to do the flying head scissors. D. Brian Kendrick. It was nice the way he did it, by the way. I believe it was a head scissors, or probably was a hurricanrana, I believe. So Grand Metalik was going to go for a springboard move, but then Jack Gallagher pulls Grand Metalik off the ropes, and he lands on the apron. And Jack Gallagher was jogging away for make sure the referee didn't see him. So he got away with it though. And because of that spot that happened to Grand Metalik, Grand Metalik has not recovered because D. Brian Kendrick ends up winning the match with the captain's hook. Basically, he worked on one for a little bit. For like a good 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden he goes for that captain's hook, and Grand Metalik he didn't tap out, he didn't even submit, he just I think he basically couldn't just answer the the submission, so the referee calls for the bell, basically like a total knockout type of deal. So yeah, D. Brian Kendrick wins the match. So yeah, we'll see what they do with this. I'm assuming that what they're gonna do with this because of what they show on the replay. It's going to be D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher versus Kalisto and Grand Metalik. Will it happen next week? Maybe. We'll see. But I'm going to imagine if that's going to be, if that's how it's going to be played out. Okay, Enzo Amore shows us a tweet because it happened on Monday Night Raw. And I still can't believe they're doing this. The WWE are doing this with Enzo Amore. For those who know what I'm talking about, if you didn't see my Raw review, I'll explain this again right here on this review. So Enzo Amore was giving a pet talk to the Zo Trains. I mean the Zo Train, which the group of the Zo Train, it's Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, Noam Dar, and Arya Daivari. So after that he was done, giving them a pet talk, Nia Jax walks into into the video, into the screen. From last night on Raw, where Nia Jax was looking at Enzo. She had a smile on her face. She looked like she was happy to see Enzo Amore, and she says to Enzo Amore, "How are you doing?" Basically, she's in on Enzo Amore. She's into Enzo Amore. So, WWE, they show a tweet from Enzo Amore that he tweeted and said, "Most girls." Nah, he's like, all girls want to be with a champion. And then he puts hashtag, how you doing? And then he had emoji like this. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with this, folks. With Nia Jax and Enzo Amore. I'm pretty sure I know what they're going to do with it. Because this is what WWE does all the time. It's an awkward relationship where they're going to have Nia Jax and Enzo Amore be a thing. A couple on WWE, basically to be an on-screen couple. Like what? Oh my God! I don't know how this is going. I don't know how this is going to end up happening. I mean, I don't know how this is going to end up getting on both of them over. Which I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that probably is going to help them get over a little bit more because Enzo Amore, he's lost a lot of steam after that promo he cut on when he was at when WWE was at. It was that Raw episode where WWE was in Manchester, England. He was cutting this promo where we don't know what the hell Enzo Amore was talking about and all that. And people because of that he lost a lot of steam. People didn't care for him anymore. I mean they'll still do the sing along when it comes to you can't teach that stick and all that. But other than that, he lost a lot of steam where people just don't care for him anymore. But this could help him get back on track by having this love angle Nia Jax of all people. All right, we'll see where that goes. Oh God, here we go. Let's get the Zoe Train segment. And when it comes to the Zoe Train segment, the Zoe Train was nothing more than a train wreck. So Drew Gulak, he's confronting Tony Nese, Noam Dar, and Arya Davari. Basically, basically getting a pet talk and all that. And then Arya Davari basically was like, since when do we have to listen to you and everything? And he's like, well, Enzo Mori let me in charge because he's not here, and yeah, so basically he shut Arya Davari up for that one, and he said that, you know, if you have a problem with me, then you're gonna have a problem with Enzo Mori when he comes back next week. Why they all team up with Enzo Mori? I don't know. It's beyond me. I mean, this is the same Enzo Mori who insulted all these guys, you know, about months ago, and now they're with Enzo Mori. So then it got weird because you got Drew Gulak talks about how they're the Justice Leagues, you know, because apparently when it comes to, you know, WWE being mainstream, they think, you know, by referencing the Justice League means that, you know, they know what's going on in the world. So Drew Gulak calls himself Superman, even though months ago WWE had Enzo Mori calling him Captain Underpants. And then he talks about how Tony Nese is Aquaman, Noam Dar is the Flash, and Arya Davari is Wonder Woman. And his reasoning is because Arya Davari has a type of style when it comes to faction. Yeah, the Zoe Train was a train wreck, folks, for this segment. This was bad. And yeah, this is WWE for you. The WWE not so creative team come up with something like that. It was stupid. Coming soon to 205 Live, to 205 Live will be Hideo Itami. Excuse me. Now I'm botching now. But yeah, they show a video package of Hideo Itami of his time in NXT, and he's gonna be coming pretty soon to the main roster. We'll be seeing Hideo Itami on Monday Night Raw pretty soon, and when it comes to 205 Live, we're gonna be seeing him on there as well. You know, being part of the Cruiserweights. You know, Hideo Itami, aka Kenta. So I can't wait for that debut. Main event time. Tony Nese with Drew Gulak. You know, basically Drew Gulak at ringside versus Rich Swann with Cedric Alexander at ringside. So Tony Nese and Rich Swann having a match. Good match between the two. In fact, best match on the card here, to say the least. Because Tony Nese and, you know, Rich Swann are very, very talented in the ring. Like I said, it was a very good match. In the end, Rich Swann ends up winning the match anyways with a nice, beautiful, not 4-feet splash, the Phoenix splash, I meant to say. Basically, a picture perfect Phoenix splash onto Tony Nese. After the match, see, like I said, Rich Swann won the match. After the match, we get Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander in the ring celebrating, and also we get Drew Gulak with his megaphone. He starts blowing the megaphone, you know. And the reason why he did that because he's calling the Calgary, you know, the Zoe Train, which is gonna, you know, the rest of the Zoe Train, which is Noam Dar and Arya Davari. Basically, they're gonna jump on Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander, but also we get Akira Tozawa and Mustafa Ali coming out of nowhere to attack, you know, Noam Dar and Arya Davari, and then Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander they fought Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, and then the Zoe Train starts to retreat. So yeah, so they end up standing tall, and that was the end of the show. So, and that was 205 Live. Now, And by the way, when it comes to 205 Live, WWE always has to come just to say this every time. Basically, WWE always going to say about 205 Live that it's just the most exciting hour in television, something like that. I don't know, but they always hear the word the most exciting hour. So, but on the amount of wrestling for 205 Live for December 5th, 2017, 3 matches. That's all we get to see for 205 Live, and sometimes they'll do 4 matches, if they have the time. But I believe they would have more time if then they had these segments, which it was overkill for this show. Yeah, because who cares about the Zoltrain that they're being compared to the Justice Leagues? Who cares about Dasha interviewing Rich Swann and all that, right? And another thing, they also play replays so many times. So yeah, that's why we didn't get enough wrestling on the show. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some good wrestling on the show for 205 Live, but at the same time, I wish there could have been more time for one more match to add in 4 matches for you know, but whatever. So my overall story for 205 Live for this show, I did enjoy the show because there was no Enzo Mori. You had three good matches, and that's all I gotta say about this. So, um, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. I thought it was a good passable show. And we'll see what they do next week, which I'm assuming we're gonna have Nia Jax on the show now because Nia Jax is now into Enzo Mori. Great. So that being said, folks, I'm gonna wrap up from here. Thank you all for watching. And again, if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button to subscribe to me, Robert Serrano Jr. And if you like this review that I did about SmackDown and 205 Live, give it hit the like. If you don't like it, basically just do it. Just like it. Yeah, the choice is yours. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up from here. So thank you for watching. Tune in tomorrow or later on today, because later on after NXT, I'll be doing an NXT review right here on YouTube. So tune in for that one. But as of right now, again, thank you all for watching. You all take care. Have a good night. Peace on the streets. I'll talk to you all soon. But for now, I'm out.